So today we are going to see one more tool, that is Apache Kafka. So what is this Apache Kafka is? Apache Kafka is used as a message broker. It is acting like what? It is used as a message broker. Kafka is used for real-time data processing. It's mainly used for what? Real-time data processing. In Kafka, it goes with two models. Kafka has two models, that is publisher and one more is subscriber. Publisher and subscriber. So what is the role of publisher is like this application stores messages in Kafka. This application, what it is going to do, it's going to store messages in Kafka. Whereas coming to subscriber, this application reads messages from Kafka. So publisher is mainly to store messages in Kafka, and subscriber, it is going to read messages from Kafka. That's the reason this Kafka is acting like a mediator. This Kafka is acting like what? A mediator between publisher and subscriber. Like if you take a application, like for example, we are having app1. So this app1 is going to publish the message. It's going to publish the message in Kafka. And if you are having a one more application like application 2, this application 2 is going to subscribe for the message, means to read the message from Kafka. So that's the reason this Kafka is going to act like what? Message broker. It is acting as a mediator between publisher and subscriber. So this app1 is acting like publisher and this app2 is acting like subscriber. Right? It's mainly used for what? Real-time data processing. So what is the meaning of real-time data processing? In which use cases we are going to use this Kafka? Kafka real-time use cases. So we can use for food delivery apps. Food delivery apps like Swiggy, Zomato. Then we can use it for Instamarts like Big Basket, Zepto. We can use for cabs booking like Rapido, Uber, Ola, like this. Right? So this is the real use cases where Kafka is used. So that where we go for real-time data processing. Let me elaborate what is this real-time data processing. Like if you consider a food delivery app like Swiggy, if you consider a food delivery app like Swiggy, so we are having a customer. Customer is going to place the order. The customer is going to open the app and is going to place the order. Now, once the order is placed by customer in Swiggy, the details will be stored in the database. Here we will be having a database. In your database, which customer has placed the request, the details will be stored in the database. Once the details are stored in the database, then Swiggy is going to communicate to the hotel. Swiggy is going to communicate to the hotel to process the order. right? These hotel details also will be stored in the database. The hotel details also will be stored in the database. Then what hotel, once it is given the order to hotel, so we'll be getting the confirmation whether the order has been placed successfully or not, whether order placed. And again that information is given back to customer. That information is given back to customer. Then again Swiggy is going to assign the delivery executive. Swiggy is going to assign what? Delivery executive. And the details also will be updated to customer, which delivery executive also updated to customer. Then like that they'll be communicating. So all the details will be stored in the database. What are the details we are getting? Like whether the order is placed, whether the order is processing, the delivery executive details. Okay. And once the food is prepared, the details are given to delivery boy. Delivery boy is going to visit the hotel, and in between the details also will be shared to the customer. Okay. And finally, once everything is done, delivery boy is going to deliver the order to the customer, and all these details are also stored in the database. So what are the real-time process? Real-time data processing means what? Assigning delivery executive, delivery boy started to deliver the order. Delivery boy is at hotel, is going to reach hotel, at what time is going to visit the customer. All these details only we call real-time data. So all these details are also stored in the database. Means you are doing so many database hits here. So what is the main thing required to store in database? Customer placing order and on at what time the delivery has happened. What is the hotel name? Who is the delivery executive? Only those details are required to store in the database. So remaining things like whether delivery boy reached hotel, delivery boy started to deliver the order. These all details are not required to be stored in the database. So this real-time data is not required to store in the database. So this is the place where we are going to use Kafka. So what we do? We are going to make use of Kafka here. And all the real-time data processing will be storing in the Kafka, right? And we'll be having one more application here. We'll be having one more application. So this application is going to read the messages from Kafka, and the required information only will be stored in the database. So the real-time data processing details will not be stored in the database. So in this one, this wiki is acting as like a producer. This wiki is what? Here it is the producer, and this app is your subscriber. So Kafka is acting like a mediator between your producer and subscriber to read this data and store it into app2. App2 is going to read the data, and the relevant data is only stored in the database instead of storing all these details in the database. So this is the place where we are going to use Kafka. So the main use of going with Kafka is to reduce multiple database calls. Clear?
Yes, Raj.
Kafka architecture. So in order to work with Kafka, what is architecture is, the first thing what we require is zookeeper. So the use of this zookeeper is like provides runtime to Kafka server. This zookeeper is going to provide runtime to Kafka server. And we require Kafka server. So this is acting like a message broker. We require Kafka topic. The next one, Kafka topic. So the use of this Kafka topic is message queue. Message queue to store the messages. It's what? It's a message queue and mainly use it for what? Use it to store the messages. Okay. Next one, we require publisher application. So what is this publisher application? Which sends messages to Kafka topic. It sends messages to Kafka topic. Then what we require? Subscriber application. This one, which reads messages from Kafka topic. Right? Then, so these are the Kafka architecture. To work with Kafka, what we require Zookeeper. It's mainly provide runtime to a Kafka server. Then we require Kafka server. Message topic, which is mainly used to store the messages. It will be in queue. And publisher application, it's going to send messages to Kafka topic. Subscriber is used to read messages from Kafka topic. Right? There. Now we need to set up this Kafka on our operating system. So I've given the details here. Kafka setup in Windows. So what we need to do? We need to download Zookeeper using the below URL. So open this URL. Open this URL. Just if you type this URL, it's going to download the file for us here. It's going to download the file. Just open the URL. It's going to download. Then once this tar.gz file is downloaded, once this is downloaded, what is our next step is we need to extract this. We need to extract to a folder. Once we extract to a folder, we'll be getting this Apache Zookeeper. This one, this folder will be created. And in this, go to copy the address up to bin folder. Copy the address up to bin folder. Wherever you are downloading, once we download this tar.gz file, extract it. After extracting, go to the bin folder of Zookeeper, copy this address, and we need to do the path setting in environment variables. We need to do path setting in environment variables. Go to this advanced system settings, environment variables, select path, edit, paste the address wherever Zookeeper is present. So click on new and paste this address. Already I've done this setting, right? So I've documented that also. Set the path to Zookeeper bin folder in environment setup. And here extract the zip file. Sorry, tar.gz file. Okay, extract it. After extracting, we have to set the path to Zookeeper bin folder in environment variables. The next step, what we need to do is we need to download this Apache Kafka using this below URL. Open this URL. In this page, see here, once we type that URL, the file will be downloaded. And let me cancel this. So once it downloads, understand carefully here, once it downloads, this is the file which has been downloaded for us. This is the file which has been downloaded. After downloading, we are going to extract it. We are going to extract it. Right click and say extract to a folder. Once we extract to this folder, understand carefully. Once we extract to this folder, we are having this folder now where you can find bin, libs, all those things. Copy this folder. Just to copy this folder, okay, and paste it in C drive. Because of long path, if you are copying in C drive, all those places, because of long path, it's unable to work with some commands. So what I have done, what is the solution for that one is copy that folder. Here, I'm explaining once again. Once we download this file, Kafka, extract it. Once we extract it, we'll get the folder. Just go to the folder where you see this bin folder. Just copy only this parent folder of bin and paste it into C drive. Paste it into C drive and change the name of that folder to Kafka. Change the name of the folder to Kafka. So because of the lengthy name in the folder, some commands are not working. That only I have documented here. Okay. Copy the Kafka this to folder, extract the file, Kafka file. Sorry. So once we extract, we'll be having this folder now. You copy it into C drive and rename that folder to Kafka. Clear this part?
Yes, Raj.
Right? Then the next step, what we need to do is, once we copy into this folder, here you can find config. Here you can find a folder config. In this config folder, you can find this file called as zookeeper and server.properties file. Zookeeper.properties file and server.properties file. Copy these two files and paste it in bin Windows folder. We have to paste it into bin Windows folder. So copy that files. I've given proper document here. Okay, copy zookeeper.properties file and server.properties file from C drive Kafka config folder into C drive Kafka bin Windows folder. Then now open this folder in command prompt. This one, C drive Kafka bin Windows folder. Open this folder in command prompt. After opening this folder in command prompt, now we need to start the Zookeeper server first. First, we need to start what? Zookeeper server by using this command. Use this command to start your Zookeeper server. How to start? See, zookeeper-server start.bat. It's a batch file. Then provide the name of the properties file like zookeeper.properties file. So this command we need to run. So command not copied properly. Copy this command and paste it here. Now run this. Press enter key. It's going to start the Zookeeper server. Then the next step. Once we have started, then again one more command prompt we have to open. For everything we have to open separate command prompt. For Zookeeper server separate command prompt. For Kafka server separate command prompt. And for Kafka topic separate command prompt. So again you open this C drive Kafka bin Windows folder. Again you open this folder in command prompt. Once again one more command prompt folder. Then the next step, we need to start Kafka server. So start Kafka server using the below command, Kafka server -start .bat server.properties. Copy this and paste it here. Press enter. Then now Kafka server also started. Then the next step, again we have to open this folder, Windows folder in command prompt. One more new command prompt. This is for Kafka topic. So create Kafka topic using the below command. It's a lengthy command. Kafka topic.bat create bootstrap-server localhost 9092. So Kafka server will be running in the URL localhost 9092 replication-factor 1 partitions 1 topic. Go with the topic name rajtech underscore topic 1. Any name, any topic. So we can go with any topic name. Paste this command, copy this command and paste it in third command prompt window. So I'm going with a topic name rajtech underscore topic 1. There. Now created a topic rajtech underscore topic 1. Then in order to see the list of topics, just use this command. Copy this and you can check it here. Under copies, under Kafka topics, we have to use it here. Here. So what are the topics we have created? I've already created this one, Rajtech topic. I'm creating one more new one now, Rajtech underscore topic 1. This is the new topic what we have created now. So this setup is required in order to work with Kafka. 3 separate windows. One is for Zookeeper and one more is for Kafka server and one more is for Kafka topic. Clear up to here? Right?
Yes,
Everything
sir.
documented properly. Okay, Kafka setup in Windows. Now, let us go with the application now. Create a Spring Starter project in STS. Go with the name Kafka Producer app. So I'm creating a producer here. Then type Maven Java version 17. Then group, subgroup, artifact. It takes the name producer app. Package Kafka.producer. Click next. Then we need to add the dependencies. Add the following dependencies. That is Spring Web, Lombok, then Spring for Apache Kafka. One more, Spring for Apache Kafka Streams. So these dependencies we need to add. Click Finish. Let us do this step. Let me create one new Spring Starter project. Let us go with the name Kafka Producer App. Type Maven Java version 17 group com.rajtech. Then package com.kafka.producer. Click next, then add the dependencies Spring Web, Lombok, next one Spring for Apache Kafka, and even streams. 4 dependencies we're adding. Click Finish. So whatever the Spring project we have created, by default it is going to make use of what? Tomcat server, embedded Tomcat server running in port number 8080, right? There. Now let us change the port number. Let us change the port number. Update application.properties file. Change the Tomcat server port number. I'll be sharing the complete folder. So we are working in our folder now. This one, C drive 2025, this one, our project folder. I've created a folder Kafka. This complete folder I'll be sharing in our drive. So you can find the complete source codes. Okay. Open this application.properties file. Server.port equal to 1111. So for producer, I'm giving port number as 1111. Next. Once we update this, next we have to create the app constants, application constants. So create a class app constants in com.kafka producer package. Constants here in this one, go with the constants like public static final string topic. So I'm going with the topic like Rajtech underscore audits underscore topic, some topic name, any topic name. Then one more public static final string host. So what is the host here? We are working in local system. So the server is running in local system, local host. And what is the port number? I said 9092. Apache Kafka will be running in the port number 9092. So these are our application constants, the name of the topic, Kafka topic, and the host. Then the next step, create a class order in com.kafka.producer package. Just working in one package here. In this order class, go with the properties, provide string order ID, provide double price, then provide string email. Go with the lambda condition at the rate done. So this is our class. The next step, this is important, create a Kafka producer configuration class. Create what? A Kafka producer configuration class, that is Kafka producer config in com.kafka.producer package. Kafka producer config. What is the name of the class? Kafka producer. This is producer application. Kafka producer config. So make it as a configuration. Which annotation we have to use in Spring Boot? Configuration, to make it as a configuration class. Then here we go with a method that is public producer factory string comma order. We are going with the method producer factory. In this method, create a map string comma order config properties equal to new hash map. Next step, config properties. What are the config properties we have created? To this, we need to put producer config dot bootstrap servers config. Here, producer config dot bootstrap server config. So what is a server? Where is the location? So you can get it from this one. Localhost 9090. So how to take that value? You can say app constants dot host. So we are just referring the location where your Kafka server is running. So to that we are adding this config properties dot put. String comma object you take it here. Then next one. Next what we have to do, config properties dot put producer config dot key serializer class config. Key serializer class config. Here we have to refer to string serializer dot class. We have to take it from org.apache Kafka. Then next what we have to config is producer config dot value serializer class config. Here we have to take the values JSON serializer dot class. Next one finally say return new default Kafka producer factory. So this pass the argument config properties. That's it. So what is the use of this Kafka producer configuration? The use of this Kafka producer configuration, the main use is to create producer. So where the config server is running, those details we are providing, and we are providing key serializer class config, that is string serializer, and whatever the data we are going to send as a message, that is going to convert in the form of JSON format. So for that only we are using this JSON serializer. And finally return this default Kafka producer factory, to that you pass your config properties. Simple words, this is the producer configuration for your Kafka. Then, once this configuration is done, create one more method here, public Kafka template, which takes string comma order Kafka template. In this one, we will be returning return new Kafka template. We are going to provide producer factory. So whenever the object of Kafka template is created, the object of Kafka template is created, it's going to pass this object to this Kafka template, which contains all the producer factory details here, and mark it as a bin. That's it. This completes our Kafka producer. Once we configure this Kafka producer, our next step is we have to create a service class. Create a service class, order service in com.kafka producer package. Order service. Next one. Let us write this code. I click on this package and say new class order service. mark it as a service class @service. In this, go with the property private Kafka template string comma order Kafka template. Then inject it automatically using @autovoid. Then the next step, create a method public string add message. So we are going to create a message add message which takes order as an argument. Then here we'll say Kafka template dot send. How to send a message to Kafka server? By using this Kafka template message dot send. To this, what we need to pass app constants dot topic. We have to mention the topic name. So what is the topic name we have given? Rajtech underscore orders topic. So we are giving the topic name. To this topic name, we are passing our order object. So what you are doing, we are adding a message to the Kafka topic. How to add that? Kafka template dot send. We are sending the message app constants dot topic and pass your order object. Then next say return message published to Kafka topic. So we have published the message. Whenever this method is invoked, the message will get published to Kafka topic. The next step is create a REST controller class. Order controller in package. Order controller. Next step is right click on package and in new class order controller. Mark it as a REST controller @REST controller. Then in this method, go with the property order service. Inject it automatically @autovoid. Then now create a method public string create order @request body order. We are going to pass order object, and what we do, we'll go with a message order service dot add message. Order service dot add message. To this, we are going to pass our order object. So whenever we say order service dot add message, go to service class. This method will get invoked. Whatever the object we are giving, that object will be added to your Kafka topic. Whatever the object, I'm passing the object. So the object details will be added to the Kafka topic. That is the role of calling this method. Then finally say return message. So this completes our somewhere. Okay, import the package, and above this use the annotation @post mapping order. So this completes our producer. Okay. The next step, let us go with the subscriber. Whatever we have done, it's our producer. This steps is related to producer. Now the next one, subscriber. So here also go with the steps. Create a Spring Starter project. Up here it will be same. Let us go with the names. Kafka subscriber app. Subscriber. Same dependencies we are going to add. Then update the application.properties file. Same app constants and order. So here only the package name is different. Let me show the steps up here. Now, let me close all these files. Now create one more new Spring Starter project. Let us go with the name Kafka subscriber app. Package Kafka subscriber. com.kafka subscriber. Then click next. Add the dependencies, say Longbox Spring Web, Spring for Apache Kafka, Spring for Apache Kafka streams. Click on finish. Then once the project is created, we need to change the Tomcat server port number. Let us change to 2222. Server.port equal to 2222. Then next step, what you do is simply what you do is go to this producer. We are having these two files now, app constants and order.java. You just copy these files into this folder, subscriber folder. So just copy this and paste it in com.kafka.subscriber folder. So here we are having same order.java and app constants.java. Right? Just copy and paste it here. Simple steps. Okay. Once these steps are done, now the next step is we have to create now Kafka consumer configuration class. Create a Kafka consumer configuration class. Let me go with the name Kafka consumer class. Sorry, config in com.kafka.subscriber package. We are creating a new class, Kafka consumer config. Mark it as configuration @configuration. Then create a method, public consumer factoring string comma order. Go with the name consumer factoring. Then in this, create a map, string comma object, config properties equal to new hash map. Next is thing, config properties protocol. Config properties dot put. Go here, consumer config dot bootstrap server config, and what we have to pass here, the server location, app constants, dot host. The next one, config properties dot put consumer config dot key deserializable. See, in the case of publisher, we are using serializer. In case of producer, we are using serializer. In case of consumer, we are using deserializer. Reading means deserializer. Writing means serializer. So consumer config dot key deserializer class config. So what we have to pass here? String. What we have to use? Deserializer here. Dot class. Okay. Next one. Config properties dot put consumer config dot consumer config dot the next one value deserializer config class. What is that? JSON. Here again we have to use same deserializer dot class. And finally say return new default Kafka consumer factory. To this you pass the object config properties. That's it. There. Now mark it as a bean. How to mark it as bean? At the rate bean annotation. Now create one more method. We need to create one more method here. That is public concurrent Kafka listener. So we are going to create a method that is Kafka listener factory, which returns concurrent Kafka listener container factory. There. In this method, create object of concurrent Kafka listener container factory. Create object of this. String comma order. Let us go with the name factory equal to new. Create object of this class. Once we create object of this class, say here factory dot set consumer factory. To this you pass consumer factory. Create object of consumer factory. Create object, we are calling this method. We are calling this consumer factory method, which holds all the configuration properties related to subscriber. Then say return factory and mark it as bean. How to mark it as bean? By using annotation at the rate. So this completes our Kafka consumer config. Then the next step, we need to update this file. Kafka consumer subs. This one. The bootstrap Spring Boot entry point application will be there. No, this class we have to update. Update this file. Here what update we need to do is just to create one method, public void consumer order message. Consumer order message, which takes string order, then provide the message. So here we'll see message from Kafka. We're just giving some message from Kafka and display the order also. Display the order. That's it. Now, once this is done, we have to run both the projects now. Run Kafka producer app as Spring Boot app. Run Kafka consumer app as Spring Boot app. Or we can even run this file. We can even run this Spring Boot entry file also. Both the things. Now, run both the projects. First, you run producer. Right click on producer and say run as Spring Boot app. Now come to this Kafka subscriber application.java file, a Spring Boot application. You can even run this also. Run as Spring Boot app. Once we run this application, now go to this topics. Go to this topics window. So how to know the list of topics here? We are having this command. Kafka topics.bat file list bootstrap server localhost 9092. So copy this command, paste it here. Now see the list. We are having see Rajtik topic and Rajtik topic 1. Okay. Now what you do is open Postman. Open Postman and make the send a request to the API. What is that? http://localhost:1111. Producer is running in which port number? 1111/order. Then come to body JSON, provide the details. What details here we have to provide? Check the details. So in order class, what we are having? Order ID, price and email. Order ID, go with some order ID. Then price, some price. Next one, email, some email. So we are just sending the data in the form of JSON format. Click on send button. Now see here, message published to Kafka topic. Now check it here. Open this Kafka topic. Now run the command again. Kafka topics.bat --- list bootstrap server localhost 909. See here. Can you see the topic got created here? See, Rajtik orders topic. And check here. Can you see here? Producer client, producer one. So we are getting the details here. Right? See here, the topic got created in our Kafka topics here. The topic has been created here. Okay. Clear all of you? So this Kafka is mainly for what purpose? It is acting like a message broker to store the messages in Kafka server in the form of Kafka topic. Okay. So the real-time stream data we are going to store in Kafka server. Once the producer produces the messages, that will be stored in Kafka server and subscriber can read the messages from Kafka server. Right? So please practice this. I'll be sharing this complete folder, Kafka folder, which contains all our projects, producer project and subscriber project. So you can take the code from these folders. Right? So that's about for today. Please practice this. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Raj.